Have you ever sat down to enjoy a perfectly cooked piece of fish? Maybe grilled salmon with a squeeze of lemon or a crispy fillet on a Friday night, and thought to yourself, this is healthy, right? After all, we've heard for years that fish is good for you. It's lean, packed with protein, and rich in those famous omega-3 fatty acids that support heart and brain health. And for the most part, that's absolutely true. But what if I told you that some of the most commonly eaten fish, the kind you'll find in diners, seafood buffets, or even your local grocery store, could actually be doing more harm than good? Especially if you're over 60. This might sound surprising, even a little unsettling. But I encourage you to stay with me, because what you're about to learn could truly change the way you think about your meals, and maybe even protect your long-term health or the health of someone you love. You see, as we get older, our bodies don't process things the same way they once did. Our organs, especially the brain, heart, kidneys, and immune system, become more sensitive to certain substances. And unfortunately, some fish carry hidden risks that younger bodies may tolerate, but older ones may not. Let's talk about mercury. For example, a heavy metal that naturally builds up in certain types of fish over time. When you're younger, your body is better equipped to filter out low levels of mercury. But as we age, that process slows. Mercury can begin to accumulate in the brain and nervous system, increasing the risk of memory loss, fatigue, nervous system issues, and even heart complications. And we're not just talking about rare fish from faraway oceans. Some of these are staples on American dinner tables. Then there's bacteria and antibiotic exposure. Many older adults enjoy raw or undercooked fish in sushi, or buy farm-raised fillets thinking they're saving money. But these options often come with bacterial risks, or worse, chemical contaminants from unregulated farms. The same piece of fish that might barely affect a 30-year-old could lead to serious illness in someone over 65, especially those with existing health conditions or a weakened immune system. Now, this video isn't meant to scare you, it's here to empower you. Because once you know which types of fish to limit or avoid, you'll also discover better options, safe, delicious, and truly nutritious choices that still allow you to enjoy the flavors you love without compromising your health. Throughout today's video, we'll walk through 6 specific types of fish that health experts, nutritionists, and even environmental researchers are quietly recommending older adults stay away from, especially if consumed regularly. Some of these might already be in your fridge or freezer. Others may be regular features at family dinners or weekend outings. One in particular might even surprise you, because it's often viewed as a health food. But by the end of this video, you'll not only know what to avoid, but more importantly, what to choose instead, so you can continue enjoying fish as a part of your diet, safely and smartly. So let me ask you this. Are you here because you care about your health or the health of someone close to you? Are you looking for real, practical guidance without the overwhelm or fear? If so, you're in the right place. At the Elder's Guide, our mission is simple: helping you age well, with strength, clarity, and confidence, one smart choice at a time. Let's dive in together. Here are the 6 types of fish older adults should think twice about before eating, and the healthier, safer options you can enjoy instead. Let's start with a fish that might sound familiar and even beloved in some families: king mackerel. Maybe you've enjoyed it grilled at a family barbecue or served up by someone who swears by its heart-healthy benefits. It's rich, flavorful, and often praised for its omega-3 content. But here's something most people don't realize. King mackerel is also one of the highest mercury fish sold in the US today. And that mercury? It doesn't just pass through your system and disappear. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering out toxins like mercury. Instead of leaving the body, it accumulates silently in your tissues, your brain, your nervous system. Over time, that buildup can lead to symptoms that many people mistakenly chalk up to just getting Older. You might start feeling more fatigued than usual. Maybe your memory isn't quite as sharp. Names, dates, appointments begin to slip. Perhaps you've noticed a slight tremor in your hands when reaching for your morning coffee, or your balance feels a little off. These aren't just signs of aging. They could be signals from your body, warning you about prolonged exposure to heavy metals like mercury. King mackerel, unfortunately, is one of the biggest culprits. Yet it often gets confused with Atlantic mackerel, which sounds similar but is significantly safer. Atlantic mackerel is low in mercury, rich in healthy fats, and still delivers that satisfying flavor many seafood lovers crave. This confusion between the two types of mackerel isn't just a labeling issue, it's a health hazard, especially for adults over 60. And unless you specifically ask or read the label carefully, you may never know which one you're getting. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up fish to protect your health. There are better, safer options, and they're just as delicious. Two excellent alternatives are wild-caught salmon and sardines. Both are naturally low in mercury and high in omega-3 fatty acids, making them incredibly supportive for brain health, heart function, and even joint mobility. Wild salmon, in particular, is known for its vibrant color and rich flavor, while sardines are affordable, shelf-stable, and easy to add to salads, toast, or even pasta. Making a swap like this might seem small, but it's the small, consistent choices that add up to real, lasting health improvements. At this stage in life, it's not just about what tastes good. It's about what fuels your body, what protects your mind, and what keeps you active and independent for as long as possible. So, the next time you see king mackerel on the menu, pause, ask questions, read the label. Opt for a choice that's not only tasty, but truly supports your long-term health. And if you're shopping for a loved one, a parent, a spouse, a grandparent, this is one simple way to make a big difference in their daily wellness. Remember, knowledge is power, and with that power, you can turn everyday habits into healthy, protective routines. Up next, we'll talk about a fish that might be hiding under a different name entirely, and why it's quietly becoming one of the most toxic choices for older adults. Let's keep going. Now, let's talk about a fish that's far more common than you might realize, but whose name you almost never hear. Tilefish. This fish is especially deceptive because it often appears on restaurant menus without being named. Instead, it's labeled something vague and harmless like white fish, chef special, or catch of the day. You might be enjoying it at a birthday dinner, an anniversary celebration, or just a night out at your favorite seafood spot, and never know exactly what's on your plate. But here's the problem. Tilefish, particularly those caught in the Gulf of Mexico, carry some of the highest mercury levels of any fish available in the EU, even higher than king mackerel. And remember what we said about mercury? As we age, our bodies become less capable of filtering it out. That means the mercury builds up, bit meal by meal, until eventually, it starts to interfere with how we feel, think, and move. For older adults, this can show up as memory problems that go beyond occasional forgetfulness, mood swings, or confusion that don't seem to have a clear cause. Even neurological symptoms like numbness, tremors, or difficulty concentrating, some of which may mimic early signs of dementia. And yet, many people continue to eat tilefish without knowing the risks because it's rarely identified clearly. That's what makes it so dangerous. It's not just the mercury, it's the lack of transparency. So what can you do? Start by being proactive when you dine out. Ask your server, what kind of fish is this exactly? Don't be afraid to follow up if they give you a general answer. You have every right to know what you're putting into your body. And if tilefish is mentioned, simply say, "No, thank you." Then ask if they offer something safer like cod or haddock. Both cod and haddock are excellent alternatives for older adults. They're mild in flavor, easy on the digestive system, and significantly lower in mercury. Cod is perfect for baking, grilling, or tossing in a light soup. Haddock has a soft, flaky texture and takes on flavor beautifully. These aren't just safer choices, they're smarter choices, especially when you're making food decisions that affect your long-term brain health and energy levels. You don't have to give up dining out, and you certainly don't have to live in fear of fish. But being informed and making intentional swaps can mean the difference between supporting your brain or unknowingly undermining it. So the next time you're looking at a menu, remember, white fish isn't always as innocent as it sounds. It might be time to ask what's really underneath that lemon butter sauce. Coming up next, a fish that sounds luxurious and indulgent, but hides a serious toxic load you'll want to avoid. Let's talk about swordfish. Let's move on to a fish that often feels a little special. Maybe it's the way it's presented on the menu, or maybe it's the occasion when it's served. Swordfish has that air of luxury, doesn't it? You might hear someone say, "I'm treating myself tonight, I'll have the swordfish." It's rich, meaty, and flavorful. It shows up at upscale restaurants, on cruise ship menus, or at milestone family dinners. And it seems like a smart, high-end choice. But hidden behind that refined image is a real concern. Swordfish is one of the most mercury-laden fish you can eat. Here's why. Swordfish are large predators that live long lives and swim deep in the ocean. That means they sit high on the food chain, and over time they accumulate mercury and other toxins from all the smaller fish they eat. By the time that thick, beautiful fillet reaches your plate, it may contain extremely high levels of mercury. Cooking it doesn't change that. Unlike bacteria, mercury doesn't get cooked out, not when you grill it, bake it, or sear it to perfection. It's a heavy metal. Once it's in the fish, it stays there. And when you eat it, it stays in you, especially if your body isn't filtering toxins as efficiently anymore. So what happens when mercury builds up? It targets key systems in your body, your kidneys, your brain, your nervous system. For older adults, this can mean memory issues that go beyond normal forgetfulness, tremors, or shakiness in the hands, difficulty with balance and coordination, and increased risk of neurological decline, and if you or a loved one is already dealing with high blood pressure, kidney issues, or cognitive concerns, swordfish may be silently making things worse. Now, many people assume that because it's grilled or prepared fresh, it must be healthy. But remember, appearance and flavor don't always equal safety. So, what can you enjoy instead? There are fantastic, flavorful alternatives that are both safer and satisfying. Start with trout, especially rainbow trout. It's mild, flaky, full of healthy fats and low in mercury. Plus, it's versatile enough for pan-searing, baking, or grilling. Another great option is pollock. If you've ever had fish sticks or white fish fillets in a fast casual meal, you may have already eaten it. Pollock is affordable, easy to cook, and gentler on your organs. The goal here isn't to make you feel restricted, it's to help you feel informed. You don't need to give up the pleasure of seafood. You just need to make smarter substitutions that honor your body's changing needs. So the next time swordfish tempts you from the menu, pause and think, is this indulgence worth the cost to my long-term health? Chances are, there's a better choice just a few lines below it. Stick with me, because up next is a fish many people believe is healthy, trendy, even fashionable. But for older adults, it may carry risks that go well beyond what meets the eye. Let's talk about bigeye tuna. Now, let's talk about a fish that feels modern, sophisticated, even fun. It's featured at sushi nights, seafood platters, and upscale buffets. It's vibrant, rich in color, and often marketed as one of the healthiest choices around. I'm talking about bigeye tuna, also known as ahi tuna. At first glance, it looks like a smart, lean protein option. And let's face it, many older adults today are embracing newer culinary experiences. You may have joined your kids or grandkids for sushi or started enjoying it on your own. It feels fresh, clean, trendy, And that's a wonderful thing. Staying open to new flavors is part of aging well. But here's what you need to know. Bigeye tuna carries a serious double risk, especially for people over 60. First, like swordfish, bigeye tuna is a large, deep-swimming predator, and that means it accumulates high levels of mercury. The more you eat, the more that mercury builds up in your system. And as we've already discussed, mercury doesn't just disappear. It lingers in your tissues, particularly in your brain and nervous system, where it can impact memory, mood, coordination, and long-term cognitive function. But with bigeye tuna, there's an added layer of risk. It's often consumed raw, sushi, sashimi, seared rare. These are common ways people enjoy ahi tuna. And while raw fish may not be a big deal for a young, healthy body, it can pose a serious challenge to older immune systems. Bacteria like listeria, salmonella, and parasites can be present in raw or undercooked tuna. And for someone over 60, especially with pre-existing health concerns or a weaker immune response, those bacteria can cause serious infections, longer recovery times, and in some cases, hospitalization. So, if you've noticed that you or a loved one feels more fatigued or off after certain meals, raw tuna might be part of the issue, especially if it's been eaten regularly. Now, does this mean you have to give up tuna completely? Absolutely not. Here's the good news. Not all tuna is created equal. Skipjack tuna, commonly labeled as light canned tuna, is significantly lower in mercury than bigeye or albacore tuna. It's more affordable, easier to portion, and can be used in salads, sandwiches, or casseroles. Best of all, it's typically cooked, which eliminates the risk of bacterial contamination. If you or someone you care for enjoys tuna, consider switching to light canned tuna and limiting it to no more than 2 servings per week. That small change alone can reduce mercury exposure and protect your immune system over time. And if you still want that sushi experience, opt for rolls made with cooked fish or vegetarian options. Many restaurants offer delicious alternatives that still satisfy the craving without the risk. At this stage of life, it's not about restriction, it's about refinement. It's about learning what supports your health and what may be quietly working against it. Every meal is a chance to care for yourself in a deeper, more intentional way. Up next, we'll talk about a type of fish that shows up in grocery stores everywhere: bright pink, neatly packaged, often on sale, and yet it may carry a chemical burden your body doesn't need. Let's talk about farmed salmon. Now, this next one may surprise you because it's widely believed to be one of the healthiest fish out there. You've probably seen it in the grocery store, beautifully pink. Fillets, neatly packaged, often labeled as rich in omega-3 South. It might even be on sale, making it seem like a smart, budget-friendly choice. I'm talking about farmed salmon. Now, to be clear, not all salmon is bad. But the truth is, farmed salmon, especially from countries with less strict regulations, can carry risks that many people don't know about. And for older adults, these risks can quietly build up and take a serious toll over time. Let's look at what's really going on. Farmed salmon are raised in crowded underwater enclosures. To keep disease from spreading, they're often fed a diet of low-quality pellets, sometimes containing contaminants, and are regularly treated with antibiotics. In some regions, they're even given chemical dyes to make their flesh appear more vibrant, because without it, the meat would look gray. Worse still, studies have found that farmed salmon, particularly from places like Chile or parts of Southeast Asia, can be contaminated with dangerous substances like PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, dioxins, antibiotic residues, and here's why that matters. These substances have been linked to chronic inflammation, weakened immune response, hormonal imbalances, and even increased cancer risk. For older adults who may already be managing inflammatory conditions like arthritis or have reduced immune strength, these toxins can be especially harmful. So while you may be reaching for salmon, thinking you're doing something good for your heart or brain, it might actually be putting extra stress on your body. But don't worry, there's a far better alternative. If you love salmon, and many of us do, make the switch to wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Why Alaskan? Because it's naturally rich in clean, bioavailable omega-3 as harvested from open waters. Not crowded fish farms free from chemical dyes, antibiotics, and synthetic feed subject to much stricter quality and sustainability standards. It may cost a bit more. But consider this, when you choose wild-caught, you're not just buying better. Fish are making a powerful investment in your long-term health. You're saying, I deserve clean, real nourishment. You're also protecting your body from inflammation and toxicity that could affect your joints, your immune function, your sleep, and even your mental clarity. Because the truth is, food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite tells your body how to feel, how to heal, and how to age. So next time you see a great deal on salmon, pause and check the label. Look for the words wild-caught and preferably Alaskan. Your brain, heart, and immune system will thank you for years to come. And speaking of comfort foods, the next fish on our list is one that may feel like a taste of home. A familiar dish from your childhood or a beloved weekend tradition. But as we'll see, imported catfish may carry hidden dangers you won't want to overlook. Let's take a closer look now. Let's talk about a fish that holds a special place in the hearts of many catfish. Maybe it brings back memories of weekend fish fries, big family gatherings, or that familiar aroma from the kitchen when Grandpa was standing by the stove, flipping fillets just right. For so many, catfish isn't just food, it's comfort, culture, and connection. But here's something important that's not always discussed. Not all catfish is created equal. While it remains a popular, affordable choice in households across the country, especially in the South and Midwest, there's a growing concern about imported catfish, particularly those from certain parts of Asia. These fish are often raised in overcrowded, unsanitary fish farms, where water quality is poor and conditions are far from ideal. To prevent disease in such cramped environments, these farms routinely use antibiotics, some of which are banned in the United States. And this creates a problem far more dangerous than we might think: drug-resistant bacteria. For younger, healthier individuals, an encounter with one of these bacteria might result in mild food poisoning. But for older adults whose immune systems are naturally weaker, the risk is far more serious. These infections can linger longer, hit harder, and in some cases, even lead to hospitalization or life-threatening complications. It's unsettling to imagine that a food we've trusted for so long could now pose such a hidden danger, and many people continue to buy imported catfish simply because it's cheaper, more available, or sold in bulk at their local store. But that low price? It often comes with a hidden cost to your health. Now here's the better news. You don't have to give up catfish altogether. There's a safer, cleaner option: U.S. farmed catfish. Catfish raised in the United States are produced under much stricter standards. Cleaner water systems, better feed quality, far more limited antibiotic use. With tighter government regulation when properly cooked and responsibly sourced, U.S. farmed catfish can still bring that familiar comfort to your table without the hidden risks. So the next time you're shopping, take a moment to check the packaging. Look for product of U.S. or U.S. farm raised. Ask your grocer where their fish comes from if it's not clearly labeled. These extra few seconds could make a lasting difference in protecting your digestive system, your immune strength, and your overall well-being. Because comfort food should offer more than just nostalgia. It should also offer peace of mind. So, now we've gone through all 6 types of fish that may be putting your health at risk, especially as you get older. But this video isn't just about avoiding the wrong choices, it's about embracing the right ones. Coming up next, we'll recap the 6 fish to steer clear of and help you turn this knowledge into simple, lasting actions that can support better aging one meal at a time. let's take a moment to reflect on what we've just uncovered. All 6 of the fish we discussed today: king mackerel, tilefish, swordfish, bigeye tuna, farmed salmon, and imported catfish may seem harmless, even healthy at first glance. They're familiar, often recommended, and in many cases, part of family traditions or restaurant menus we've trusted for years. But as we've learned, each carries unique risks, especially for older adults, whether it's mercury slowly accumulating in the brain and nervous system, bacteria lurking in raw or farm-raised options, or chemical exposures that stress your immune system. These hidden dangers can have a powerful impact on your memory, your energy, your mood, and your overall quality of life. And yet, here's the good news. You don't have to give up fish to protect your health. There are safer, smarter choices available: wild-caught salmon, sardines, rainbow trout, cod, haddock, light canned tuna, and farmed catfish, all of which offer nourishing omega-3 south and essential nutrients without the hidden risks. At this stage of life, it's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It means reading the label just a little more closely at the grocery store. It means asking the server, "What kind of fish is this?" when dining out. It means gently guiding your loved ones, your spouse, your parents, or your friends toward choices that don't just taste good, but truly support their bodies. These don't have to be huge, sweeping changes. Start small. Swap out one high-mercury fish for a cleaner one. Try a new recipe using wild salmon or rainbow trout. Build your confidence and your health one meal at a time, because as we grow older, every choice counts. And every better bite brings you closer to clearer thinking, stronger joints, steadier energy, and deeper rest at night. Isn't that what we're all striving for? Not just more years in our life, but more life in our years. So whether you're here for yourself or for someone you love, thank you. Thank you for choosing to be informed. Thank you for showing up for your health with curiosity and care. This isn't about fear, it's about freedom. It's about taking back control of what goes on your plate and how it makes you feel every day. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe to the Elder's Guide, where every week we share thoughtful, practical guidance to help you age with strength, purpose, and peace of mind. Until next time, take care of your body. Ask questions, read labels, and remember, you deserve to feel well every single day.